just might.
Instead of caring and nurturing him, they ultimately cause his death by praying over his body instead of taking him to the doctor.
I've been telling you about a tragic story in Philadelphia. Parents denying antibiotics to their baby because they believe in healing through prayer alone. The baby dies. The story doesn't end there. This is the couple's second child to die like this. Let me bring in my legal dream team today. Who do we have? We got John Phillips, Joey Jackson, Darren Kavanaugh, all great attorneys, Florida, New York, and California, respectively. All right, gentlemen, and I use that term loosely.
Let's
start here.
Obviously.
Let's start here, though. The first child dies, and the parents get probation. They were facing, I think, 20 to 40 years. They should now get the 20 to 40 years for the first child's death on a violation of probation, right, John?
Probation. That's what would make sense to me. You know, you've been warned once. We accepted your religious excuse once. Now it's time to pay the piper.
Yeah, and this one, you know, can get a little dicey because of the religious aspect of all of it, Joey. How do you see that issue playing into all of this? Obviously, in this country, we have the right to practice whatever religion we want, right? We can raise our children how we want, but there's a line.
There's an absolute line, Vinny, and the way it's going to play out is it's going to play out to the state's benefit, okay? At the end of the day, absolutely, you have all the rights in the world to your religious beliefs. You can raise your children as you deem appropriate. However, because of a state interest and a compelling state interest when it comes to children, their safety, their security, their life, then the state takes an influence on that, and the influence is life preservation. And to the extent that the child died and they could view it as a reckless death, I think the couple may have some pretty big legal problems.
Darren Kavanaugh, what's the best argument they can make? You know, I mean, they had their chance. One child dies. They're put on probation. One of the conditions of probation is pretty much don't do this again. If your child gets sick, get them help.
Right. And that's going to be one of the strongest arguments in favor of the prosecution, that they were put on notice because of this prior incident. As John already articulated, it was actually a term and condition of the probation. And when you violate your probation, all of that ungiven jail time or prison time can be visited upon you. But from the defense perspective, I think the best argument is probably grounded in the notion that what that child was experiencing, whatever that physical illness was, didn't rise to such a level that a reasonable parent would have sought medical attention. And that's one of the issues that prosecutors may run into on this. And obviously, we're going to get into some medical evidence, and the devil's in the details. I say only slightly tongue-in-cheek with that devil reference there, Vinny.
I got it, Darren.
We get it, Darren.
You know, but here the question is whether the kid had been sick long enough, whether the symptoms were severe enough to actually put the parents on notice that not getting the kid to the doctor would have violated the probation.
All right, Dream Team's going to hang around. Now, what kind of car would you buy if you won the lottery? Well, our newest Powerball winner knows what he's getting, and you might actually be surprised.